I would like us to continue with our previous discussion about calcitriol or vitamin D deficiency in the black population that predisposes us to more of kidney injury, cardiovascular issues like stroke and heart attack, and as well as brain injury. To make reference to our previous discussion, remember that the melanin, which is the dark pigment in the black skin, protects us from the sun rays or the sunlight. However, as it prevents the entry of these rays, it also inhibits the ultraviolet B and A, which are involved in photochemical synthesis of vitamin D in our skin. Now, we will emphasize on two vital roles that vitamin D play in our body, especially in our immune modulation, that their deficiency could cause a havoc in our system. Beginning with this, vitamin D is able to enhance the activity of an inhibitor that we call the IKB. This inhibitor, in its interaction with nuclear factor kappa light chain enhancer of B cells, which we shorten as NFKB, stops it from entering into the nucleus, where it is able to exert its expression on our gene. Don't be too overwhelmed. This is the interpretation. In the body, whatever foreign substance that comes into the body mounts an immune response to it. Now, NFKB, called the nuclear factor kappa light chain enhancer of B cell activation. This is a protein that travels into our nucleus and interacts with our gene or DNA and expresses that gene to begin to produce pro-inflammatory cytokines. This is what we call a transcription factor. This activates DNA to start producing pro-inflammatory cytokines like interleukin-1 alpha, interleukin-6, and tumor necrosis factor alpha. These pro-inflammatory cytokines are the smaller particles of protein released into our system to interact with other immune cells that there is an ongoing injury or infection, and therefore more of that should locate themselves into the point where they are needed. Some of these cytokines, because of their chemotatic process that leads them into the place of injury, we call some of them as chemokines. But when these mount up in our body, remember the features of inflammation: pain, heat, swelling. So these are the features that we are going to experience as more cytokines are produced. This means the more vitamin D you have to optimum, the much this inhibitor is able to stop the transcription factor NFKB, and very low or modulated level of pro-inflammatory cytokines are produced. The vice versa is high quantum of pro-inflammatory cytokines within the human system. When much of these pro-inflammatory cytokines are produced, the end result is influx of immune cells like monocytes, neutrophils, eosinophils, basophils, and the likes. These are the first line of immune response, and we know that the innate immune response is non-specific, and therefore they attack all inflamed endothelium within your blood vessels, exposed collagen and all that, because they find them as foreign and they see them as abnormal, and therefore attacks it in the sense of fighting an injury. They become stiffer and rough than they are naturally meant to be. They are actually flexible all the time. That is how blood is able to flexibly move through these arteries and veins to all tissues that require oxygen for metabolic processes. But the more interesting aspect of it is that when these walls are inflamed, they expose the inner endothelial layers such as collagen. The endothelial layer collagen, as I spoke to you in my previous video, that it is a negatively charged surface that activates clotting process. Remember that calcium in itself is a Ca2+, which is a positively charged element. This is attracted to a layer of negative charge like collagen. Calcium begins to build up in areas that are inflamed and they form a plaque. This plaque reduces the inner lumen of the blood vessels. Though the heart beats, but very little of oxygenated blood is able to be supplied to your kidneys and to other vital tissues. This means your heart has to work extra harder to move equal amount of blood it used to do when there was no problem. This is what we call an overworking heart. The heart beats stronger and faster. You are going to experience a high blood pressure, if not resolved, a heart attack. In other interpretations, the fluid that is oxygenated, which is your blood, supposed to reach your kidneys, are not going. And therefore we say your kidneys have a reduced renal supply. Every tissue that requires oxygen being denied is going to suffer ischemia. In science, ischemia simply means reduced oxygen supply. Whatever has no oxygen supply begins to die, and therefore you would have a kidney injury and other tissue injuries, compounding the problem. Not leaving the other important function of your vitamin D aside, let's bounce back and look at the other function of your vitamin D. Vitamin D binds to its receptors called the VDR found in the gastrointestinal around the duodenum. This binding exposes and opens calcium channels, leading to the influx of calcium from our diets in the lumen into the bloodstream, increasing your calcium level. In a low level of calcitriol or vitamin D, you have almost no calcium coming from your diet into your bloodstream, and therefore hypocalcaemia cannot be entertained, or the body cannot compromise low calcium. It has to find other means to solicit for the lost calcium. What happens is that there is a homeostasis mechanism. When we say homeostasis in science, we mean the body's process of maintaining normalcy. For instance, in your rooms, you have a hot area. You open your windows and allow fresh air to come in. The body has its own mechanism of regulating itself in a bad situation to correct any error. This is what we call homeostasis. There is a parathyroid gland that produces parathyroid hormones called PTH. In the sense that there is low calcium, a feedback mechanism is sent to the brain where more PTH is produced. Parathyroid hormone interacts with your osteoclast and begin to cause a dissolution of your strong bones just to unleash calcium, to solicit for the low level of calcium in your blood. Because calcium is also an important element, just like an electrolyte potassium required for your muscle contraction, that's your heartbeat as well. Now, your bone is dissolving down to release calcium. What happens? A state called osteoporosis, where your bone become brittle just because they want to release the calcium. Now you have weak bones, bone pain, kidney problem, heart is beating faster, leading you into more cardiovascular issues like stroke, because remember, the insufficiency of supply of oxygen to your brain and cut down of other nutrients leads to a brain injury, and calcium building up in your arteries and your veins may definitely reduce brain supply as well. Can you imagine the source of this great problem to your body? It is an accumulated problem because of vitamin D deficiency that might not have been looked at the right time. And as you mature through life, this grows along with you, and you may have a very big problem. Just to clear the lines, not all cardiovascular problems are associated to vitamin D deficiency, and therefore, it is important that you seek the right medical attention. Find a proper place to get you diagnosed. Seek proper advice from your clinician. Do not flush your system with vitamin D by your own prescriptions. There are good ranges. A normal vitamin D level should be, optimum one should be from 30 nanogram to 50 nanogram. Speak to your doctor and get these issues resolved. If you love this kind of discussions, click the like button, subscribe to this channel, send it to your family. Let them listen to very important messages. It's worth it.